This is a Mercy Girl production.
Folks, MACT here, and in this box that I have right here, I have the alternator. So I'm going to go ahead and open it because I just got it in from Rock Auto and it came this way. I don't know what happened. Half of it's open, half of it isn't. But we'll see what's in here, and we'll get ready for this alternator replacement for my 2011 Ford Edge Lulubelle. And we'll go ahead and open it and examine this Motorcraft alternator and get a close-up view of it before I install it here this weekend. Go ahead and open this thing. See what we get. See what we have as far as the packing. A lot of paper and everything that we can use. And of course, we have here our Micro V belt. And this of course is the model number. It's a Gates belt, Micro V. And of course the part number is K060448. And of course it's the 6-rib belt that you need for your Ford Edge for the serpentine. Not a very big belt, as you can see. Pretty small overall, but it is a pretty good belt. I got one on there, and it does say here that it's an OE supplier. So Gates, pretty good name as far as belts go. And I put this same belt, I think, on my 2008 Ford Edge. Also, here's another one that some of you may not be all that familiar with, but this is the stretch fit belt, and this part number for this Gates belt is K0403566SF. And this of course is the belt that we will be taking and putting on the power steering pump. Now my removal process differs from others. I cut it off once I determine that it is the right fit, and I'm pretty sure this one is, but I'll double check it. But I just cut it off and then I put it on, and I'll show you how I put it on vice how they recommend putting it on. I didn't have a problem, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, what do we got here? This thing's pretty heavy too. Pretty heavy piece. We'll get this out of the way. And this, of course, is the Motorcraft OEM replacement, as they say. And it is a GL928 alternator. Okay? So it's from Motorcraft, so in case y'all wondering, I'm not cheating, I didn't go cheap. I do have the Motorcraft part that I'm going to put in there. Now, what did I pay for this thing? I got it through Rock Auto, and I think it came out less than $300 or something like that. Oh, a little note. I got till March 13th to return it, otherwise I lose my $75 core charge. Now, here's the interesting thing. I don't know what I'm going to do, because basically, as far as the alternator goes, the replacement, I may decide to do something really crazy. I may tear apart the old one, just to see what's inside. Let's see why they make it internal and what actually causes everything to be so difficult on it. But we're going to go ahead and open this alternator box here. It's a little on the tough side. Let me score this just a little bit. Cut the box so we can get her open. Let's see if that works. There we go. We got it. Now we got the alternator. We're going to go ahead and check it out, and I will give you all a up close and personal view of it so you can see what the alternator actually looks like, because it is buried down in there. If y'all remember, this alternator is pretty well buried. So this is the actual alternator, folks, and this is what it looks like outside and not mounted in the Ford Edge. Again, you got your pulley here, it spins pretty good, and then of course all your coils and wrappings. But as you can see, I'm looking down inside everything here. Basically, we don't have any access, although I do see parts of the voltage regulator in here. It's not going to be accessible as far as getting to it too easy from what I can tell, because it's in the back here, and then you got to take off 4 screws, 5, 6, 7, 8 probably, just to get down in there to start getting to it. And then you got to somehow peel the back of it off, and this whole back looks like it's all one piece. So we got that, but looks like we got threaded insert bolts here to mount on here to attach it, and then of course we have a couple other things. So I'm going to go ahead and show this to you. This is the Motorcraft alternator, and if you look down in there, there's the coil wires as far as the windings, pretty exposed area. And then cooling fins, it looks like it does have a lot of built-in cooling if you look at it. There's the fan blades and everything as far as the fins, and here is the connector, and if you all remember right, that is the connector in there. It's a 3-pin connector as far as that goes, and then this of course is your stud that you will connect as far as your battery power, I believe it is, and go ahead and do that. Now, any other information you want to have, again, you can see that this is 150 amp 12 volt, and this of course is the Ford part number, so there's no doubt this is an OEM replacement part for it, so I'm not going cheap on it. And of course it's got the FM or FOMOCO here, as they say, stamped into it. But overall, basically what we're looking at is it'll connect up here. It is basically going to set, I believe this is about how it's going to set, and then we got to take the bolts out here, and it'll be in this position with the belt going around this way. But you have to basically slide it in here, you put the bolt in, and if you look right here, get a nice close-up of it, get a little light in there, you can see that that nut there is inserted and it is threaded. I don't know if you can see that very good in there, but it is threaded. But basically, nice little view of all the connectors and how they're going to go in. Got to reuse the nut when we go ahead and hook it up, because it doesn't come with one. But overall, if you haven't seen the alternator before, this is the alternator for the 2000, I guess, 11, but I think they said this is good for a 2007 all the way through a 13 or so. Not exactly sure on it, but again, gave you the part number for it, gave you the model number for it, and this is what we're going to be installing into the Ford Edge 2011. And as you can see, there's a lot to do, because I have to remove the fans and the radiator hose. According to all data, I have to remove that in order to get to this alternator. Of course, we have to pull the wheel well out, and then I have to take and work my way to get to the bolts and everything here to make the disconnects, take the serpentine belt off, which, by the way, is why I bought this serpentine belt. So, does it fit? Perfect. It fits right on there just like it's supposed to. So, we got the serpentine belt that we're going to put on there. And then, of course, we're going to get this all put in to my 2011 Ford Edge this weekend. starting Friday. So I'm going to do this Friday, and I may do the struts and the sway bar links. If everything goes right Friday, that'll give me Saturday to then take and do more work on it. And then of course I have to get an alignment done on it, because I have to get this Ford Edge on the road by Monday. So this is it, folks. This is the alternator for the 2011 Ford Edge, and I will post other size fittings on here that it does fit, as far as in the links and everything. But this is the alternator. Hope I gave you a good enough view of it, and by all means, let's take and get this thing installed.
This is a Mercy Girl production. Thank you for watching, and remember to like my videos and subscribe to MACTFORDEDGE.